Welcome back to Not So Sweet, our series examining the murder for hire case of Welcome to Sweetie Pie star, restaurateur, and alleged mastermind Tim Norman. We are still following the money, and in this episode, we'll look at the life insurance trail after Andre Montgomery's death.
So sweet, so sweet.
But first, there are a few updates with one of the players. Tim Norman. Charge. The charges of conspiracy to commit murder for hire and conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud still stand. However, he can now potentially face the death penalty if convicted. Representation. Originally represented by a public defender, he has now secured John P. Rogers of Rogers, Sebastianos, and Banty as his lead attorney. His plea? Not guilty. Also, Norman is still in custody as his request for release on bail was denied. As it relates to insurance agent Waiel Yaghnam, he is still out on bail. Restaurateur Tim Norman, once again aided by Waiel Yaghnam, made numerous attempts to collect on the $450,000 life insurance policy as early as 4 days after Andre Montgomery's murder. According to court documents, the initial contact to collect on the policy was made on March 18th of 2016 by Yaghnam, who placed 2 calls to Foresters, the issuing agency. 3 days later, on the 21st, Norman contacted the agency twice by phone, also to file a claim. And by the close of the month, on March 30th, Yaghnam placed another call to Foresters that reportedly lasted for approximately 10 minutes. The context of the call was not available via court documents. This equates to at least 5 calls being made by the co-conspirators to the insurance agency during the month of March, with the majority of those calls taking place before the victim was laid to rest on March 26th. Contact to the agency by Norman and/or Yaghnam seemed to go cold over the course of April, but by late May, Norman submitted a written claim via U.S. mail to the issuing agency. That agency, Foresters, followed up with Norman by letter 2 months later in July, stating they'd yet to receive the documentation necessary to process the life insurance claim. Documentation needed: a finalized police, toxicology, and coroner's report. Even without submitting the required documentation, Norman repeatedly contacted Foresters between the months of August and November 2016, again, an effort to collect on the life insurance policy. 2 years later, around September of 2018, Norman escalated his attempts to collect by retaining counsel who sent the agency a demand letter regarding payout. This letter reportedly indicated that Norman authorized said attorney to, quote, file a lawsuit for failure to promptly pay the life insurance claim, end quote. Now let's fast forward 1 more year. In September of 2019, Foresters mailed Norman another letter via U.S. mail stating they still had not received the documentation required to make a formal decision in processing the claim. It doesn't appear any further contact to collect was made by Norman or Yaghnam, and by August of 2020, the pair had been apprehended by authorities for wire and mail fraud. In addition, the policy was never paid out by Foresters. Once again, we'd like to note that all parties are innocent until proven guilty, and all information presented has been pulled from official court documents. With that being said, the Glovebox team has the following questions. Is it common practice for an insurance agent to make calls on behalf of the beneficiary to collect on a policy? If not, why would Yaghnam do so? Is it his customer service guarantee? Or did he share a vested interest in the $450,000 payout? On what grounds could Norman sue Foresters for lack of prompt payment when he hadn't submitted the required documentation to even process the claim? Intimidation tactic? Or is there an existing legal loophole that would support this assertion? We'll look into these concerns and more as we follow the case. I am Miss Katie PTU, and Not So Sweet, Murder for Hire has been brought to you by Glovebox Arts and Entertainment. Discuss in the comments below, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for part 3, where we'll wrap up the insurance trail. In the meanwhile, be big, be bold, be outside the box.